My name is Damilola, and the title of our project is GetAhead, and it's a workload intelligence for overlapping academic commitments. So I'm going to go to the next slide. So this was a team of two people, primarily myself and Misan, and then we have like years of experience with product engineering, data analytics, AI in education research, and growth strategy. And also special thanks to Adisa Joshua, who helped us with like brainstorming as an unofficial member and also like design iterations as well. So to the problem, to the challenge that we're solving, I want us to meet Daniel. This is Daniel, a college student at 11:47 p.m., as many other college students as well. And he is faced with three deadlines. He has three tabs opened, the biology essay due, a calculus homework due, and a discussion post, all at midnight. And Daniel did not plan to fall behind. He meant to start earlier, but things happen as they do happen. Lectures ran long, a shift happened at his work, a small thing that was assigned in class that seemed small, that actually wasn't small. And then what happened is overall he misjudged the total workload, and the result is what we would expect: late and lower quality submissions, missed sleep, heightened anxiety, and so on. Um, and let us zoom out to what are the underlying problems that Daniel is facing. Number one is workload visibility gap. So typically, professors give assignments in silos, not considering the other context of the other assignments, other classes that they're enrolled in. So students do not have like a unified view of their total cross-course workload. So this causes like overload to form, and students do not realize it until they happen. Then also we have the problem of planning fallacy, which plagues a lot of people, plagues a lot of students. They often would underestimate how long work would take and assume they have more time than they actually have. Then there's capacity mismatch. So people would often look at their empty space in their calendar and then assign tasks or and schedules and all of that, but actually not realizing that they do have cognitive and energy limits. And also, all of these like points to this major problem, deadline clustering, which is you having high density weeks towards the deadline, where all the assignments compress into one. And then this is actually not a niche problem. It's not just Daniel. It's not just one person. It's not just one type of student. We have the overloaded undergrad or grad students balancing, juggling a couple of course load. We have the neurodivergent learners who they know what to do, but sometimes they struggle to initiate tasks, especially when a lot of things feel urgent at the same time. Then we have the high achievers who say yes to almost every opportunity that come their way. So they're juggling a whole lot. And then we have the working professional that are studying part time. These are people that everything is very tight for them, their schedule. If anything falls apart, it could affect their whole workload. And then also we see that according to like research, over 60% of 19 million plus college students have reported overwhelming anxiety at some point during their study. Uh, then yeah, so we went ahead to do like a survey. We surveyed about 10 students across two universities, and then we see that the theme is actually recurring. About 90% of them had like effort miscalculation. They were initially confident about their work until it came closer to the deadline. We had like planning skill gaps. A lot of people are not taught exactly how to plan. So this is something that is assumed that students know how to plan. Then also deadline-driven behaviors. Many people react to the nearest deadline instead of distributing effort because this assignment comes in concurrently. Then also we looked at like what the solutions we're trying to offer, and we asked if they would love to have adaptive guidance while they're working with their work, and 70% of them said yes. And then also 70% of them also said they would like to have suggested breakdown of assignment stages, which would lead us to our solution. So our solution is GetAhead. And then what this is not a planner, it's not a to-do list. What it is, it's a workload intelligence system. And how it works is it models your total academic workload across courses. You're able to add assignments, and it helps you break the assignments into adaptive work chunks that fit right into your schedule. You're able to predict deadline compressions and redistribute efforts before they become a crisis. And quickly, I'm going to show what that looks like. A quick, like just part of what we've built. So we've built a system, a working system already, and some parts of them are already completed. So one of the things that we have here is students are able to set their baseline when they're able to focus how long they can commit per week, during the weekday, during the weekend, the kind of work preference they have, the best time they have to work. They could also set up their mood. This can help determine what kind of task is suggested to the student. If they are feeling crashed, overwhelmed, depleted, it could be like the lighter task. And if they're in an energized position, it could be the task that require a lot of focus and deep work, and that could be assigned as well. Then we have, for instance, this is an assignment here. Um, this is like a breakdown of the assignment, and each of them can be taken one by one and focused upon as they go on. And then also it's spread into their calendar. One thing we're looking at in the future is being able to integrate this to their learning management systems such that it's able to sync in the assignments and then there's like less friction with that. And then back to the slide, I'm going to move on to, so we have existing tools, some of the tools that exist, but the problem is many of them are just focused on task deadlines and do not talk about like the model of the cognitive workload over time. And then also, many of them assume that effort estimates are accurate. So that suggestion that comes oftentimes from what we are building, where it's able to suggest the efforts that's going to take for each work chunk, that is something that is missing in a couple of other tools. And then also, many of them are reactive in the way they notify students, or you missed the deadline, as opposed to predicting that there's an overload that might come because now you have another task, and then the deadline is also approaching, and how you could redistribute your work basically. And then these are like some of the tools that we looked at and explored that looks like competitive. But what we see is that for most of the features, we have our feature being able to our app. So thank you very much.
I can get started. My first thought is I would love this for myself. Even though I'm not a student, I would love this for my life and workload. So please make a non-EDU focused product after you conquer this market. But my question is about your user. There are people who get overwhelmed because of shift changes and assignment changes and things like that. But then there are just procrastinators, right? There are just people who live that kind of life. And in order for a procrastinator to use this product, they need to change very deep internalized habits and want to change. And so, how will you reach those people? How will you use technology to keep them on track and help them change habits that have been embedded in who they are for a long time?
So I'll give myself an example. Sometimes I do like to zero in on a particular task, and then if I am not completely sure of how the task is going to like pan out completely to the end, I might procrastinate. So I would not want to start because I feel like it's complex. So one of the ways with the breakdown, it helps you to see the task in chunks, and then you can respond to that. And then also we're thinking about like being able to like gamify it such that you have like streaks and encouragement, nudges that tells you when to start. And even if you do mess up with the deadline and you do not react, like it helps you. It doesn't like what's the word? Like doesn't like react negatively to you, but instead it helps you just like adjust that timeline that you've already scheduled and then move it forward. That's how we think might help someone that is a procrastinator.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got a quick one. What are you thinking around business model here? Students are notoriously not the wealthiest demographic and often aren't buying things that they don't absolutely need. So I'm curious how you think about bringing it to them.
So one of the things we thought about is like a free plan, a plus plan, and a campus plan. We do see like the plus side for institutions adopting this because it helps with. We see like some features that we could add and added value for institutions that could help them want to have this for their students because they could have like a dashboard that helps them see students' risk, students that are having overload stress, and so on and so forth. But these are like the business plan in terms of pricing strategy that we do have in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.